all the scars, let's leave them behind. Light the world up now, let us fire in your eyes. To the darkness, into the night, the night, the night. Night, 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 night. To the darkness, into the night. Put your fucking hands up.
but like mistakes do happen, right? And KOK could be, that could have just been their game. And there was a lot of mistakes made by Fish early on that KOK was able to just kind of like get on top of and take advantage of. And I think that if you eliminate most of those mistakes and maybe, kind of get Kingdom of Kittens to make their own mistakes. So one thing that you always have to be cognizant of especially when you're playing League is not to play from a lead when the game starts, right? And how many times do we see where like a team completely just stomps game one or makes a huge thing in game two, and then game three starts or the next game starts and it's like, oh wait, we just lost like the first 4 deaths for no reason just because, oh, I'm not on this Fed Victor anymore. I'm on an Ari and I just walked into a Rise and died, right? And so I think there's a lot of that. The biggest thing is just the mental reset, right? And, Fish need to be able to do that mental reset, go back to what works for them and say, okay, what's our identity, and play to it. And I think that they tried to do that game one, but they just made way too many silly mistakes early on that they weren't able to kind of make up for.
Yeah, absolutely. The silly mistakes were off the charts. I also want to give props to the Kingdom of Kittens jungler. Absolutely dominating that game. His performance was off the charts on the Skarner. We can see why they took it on B2, which is not something that you normally see. You don't see that high of a priority on the champion because it does get countered by things that can just shut you down. It gets shut down pretty badly by things with hard CC as well as range, because that combination especially is deadly. Because if he can't E onto you on a flank angle, or if he does get the chance to E onto you but he gets hard CC'd, it's hard for him to do really too much of anything. Definitely thrives in those front to backs as well as those flanks. So a pretty good all-around champion, but we definitely saw it shine in that last game, and I'm definitely looking to the Kingdom Kittens jungler to shine in this game as well, as hopefully we should be getting to draft any moment now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I had said prior to the game starting, like, this is a really complicated champion, but obviously Theracles has played a lot of games on him and made him look like a very pedestrian, easy to play champion. I love the fact that he didn't just like walk into lanes and just use like the normal gank angles, right? Like early on, he kind of set the tone for the entire mid lane, not just with the level 1 fight, but once he realized that Nocturne had taken some of his jungle, he's like, okay, I know where he's going to be right now. He goes up, he steals the Raptors, gets not just a ward up there, but a timer, right? And then so now he has the timing of the Raptors. He goes up there, farms the Raptors, lo and behold, okay, if it works out with no added benefit, I have a timer on his Raptors and I get to take them every time that I want to. The better part of it, though, is where he actually transitions that into a huge play for his Victor every single time that he wants to where he just goes through the brush or through the wall and just gets a free gank every single time. And Mike was just completely unprepared for it the first time, and he was completely underleveled and underfarmed the second time, and it just became something that was another addition to the snowballs that KOK had in the first game.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little more bot lane action. Of course, we did see a good amount, but it was short-lived. Felt like it was just mid lane ganks on repeat. Mikey getting a little bit bodied. Would like to see more of the 2v2. We did see it a little bit at the start of the game. We saw that early Yunara solo kill, but eventually after the Ezreal gets behind, as we were talking about in the last game, it just becomes that much harder for him to get in line. We are going to get into drafts here. Going to be the Lissandra ban, assuming that is just for comfort. Definitely one of the more bullyable champions, has a ton of bad matchups, but has good team fight, good range, has good CC as well. So Gremory on the blue side as well, so won't have that counter pick, but they didn't have it last time and it worked out fine, so not going to be too disparaging for their side.
No, it's not. And like in the first game, Fish elected to take the red side. They, as you said, they got botted. They got beat really, really badly. But they had something that they believed in. So maybe this is part of that whole mental reset. We gave this game away. They didn't take it from us. Let's go out and get our thing now. As we are going to see the Win Brothers matchup here. I'm hoping this is mid on mid or top on top. I hope it's Labu versus Artifact or, Kamino Kaze versus Mike. Oh my God, these picks are coming out so quick as we go. All right, I'll just run through it. I guess like KOK just, they go with the Yone. And then in the top lane, the Wukong Wukong for the jungle, and then Ari for the mid lane. And it is answered extremely just as quickly by Fish with the Yasuo J4 and Diana potentially in the mid lane as well. Could be a
Yeah.
Yasuo ADC, I guess. It's a little flex for Wilm. I'd hate to see that. I don't know, but yeah. Hopefully, this is just like it seems like a handshake game, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think both teams getting a lot of what they want. Ari going to go towards the mid lane,
Mhm.
most likely. As well, I mean, these picks are really coming in at lightning speed. Like, what? How
Yeah.
do I even
Oh.
talk about this? These guys are literally just insta locking all of their champions. It's actually really funny. Um, so this is kind of a crazy comp coming out from the side of Fish. So it's gonna be Yasuo versus Yone top.
Oh
I mean,
hell
talk
yeah!
about
This is
handshakes. That
exactly what
is
I wanted. Yeah.
absolutely insane. Going to be Diana Sword. So all of these characters are actually locked um, in the order that they're going to be played. So we get to see Kaisa Thresh versus Jin Alistair. So interesting lane, very aggressive on both sides. Diana versus Ari in the mid lane. Ari definitely having the edge in that one, able to get away from the Diana if she ever is jumped on, as well as dish out a good amount of poke as well. Very, very aggressive comps coming out from both sides. So we are going to see yet another bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen, and I am here for it.
Oh yeah, definitely me too. And I'm hoping with this one at least that Goob plays the Alistair a little bit safer, I guess, than the Braum. Braum kind of gives you like this false sense of security, like I have my shield, I can kind of do what I want. The Alistair is such a good counter to hook champs and displacement champs, mainly because he has such a strong disengage slash re-engage at the same time appeal, right? Like you can just, if you have all, at least level 3, you can get your headbutt pulverized combo, followed up with your E, and you just kind of like slowly like stand in front of the Kaisa, and you can kind of soak some damage. He's innately tanky, and especially once he has his ult, he's extremely tanky. I think probably Kale and Tarek are the only tankier champions, right? Because they get absolute invulnerability along with Tryndamere. But like, he's able to just kind of shut down what should be an easy kill lane. The Thresh gets the hook on the Jhin, you go right after the Kaisa, and vice versa. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I think that Jhin is a much better champion. Especially with the comp that they're playing. You have the Diana, you have the Yasuo and the J4 and the Alistair to just kind of all do the exact same thing. This isn't empower the Yasuo comp, but Jhin, if positioned correctly, will be able to play extremely well, safe, and effectively way far behind the line and from the back.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see 4 knockups on the side of Fish. So
Yep.
a lot of things to get this Yasuo rolling. They aren't putting all of their eggs in one basket. I think I wouldn't even say who I favorite. I think it's definitely just depending on who gets a lead. Because whoever gets a lead is extremely snowbally comps. I think that Kingdom of Kittens have a little bit more safety with the Wukong, just a little bit more peel than the Jarvan. Jarvan usually wants to be the one going in. So I think they do have a little bit more in terms of options as well as peel, especially with the Thresh as well. But as we have the drafts now, we're just waiting for the spectator lay. So we'll send you to a break before the game starts. Hello, everybody. Welcome back in to our best of 3 with Kingdom of Kittens Gremory versus the Fishmeisters. Gonna be a banger of a game. Again, Fish on the red side yet again. They wanted to get that counter pick down. We see, of course, it's gonna be Boof on the Yasuo. It's gonna be a banger. Both having extremely aggressive comps. More aggressive comp does go to the side of Fish somehow. Even when you have the Kaisa. Oh my goodness. Talk about, like, we just spent some fighting after I said that. Is now it's gonna be the Wukong who's taking down extremely low. The flash forward from the Diana. The auto! Not
And the
gonna get it.
ignite.
The ignite will tick down in the end. Kill over to Mikey, and a much better start here for Fish in this level 1.
You asked how did they do it? This is how they do it. Kaminokaze is literally on the exact same side spot that Mikey was as he gives his lead completely away. Where starting out super low on health, and I mean he is down in summoners, but you know, just super strong early on, gets that first kill, might be able to even just like do a cheater's recall, get himself like a dark seal or something. I don't know what he wants to build on this Diana, but definitely like a much better start. And now we're gonna start to see maybe if you know, Therocles, without getting like a nice easy lead for himself, might not be able to play as cleanly as he did in game 1 and just kind of take over. So already we're getting a completely different start, at least, to the game than we did in game 1.
Yep, and we see some early top lane training, but maybe not too much more here. Just also looking to poke out a little bit, as now Q does hit in the bot lane. Goop forced to flash away here, but the Kaiser W hits the flash forward. The ignite, the heal is gonna stop it from ticking down for just another moment, but the one last tick of the ignite isn't quite there. Goop gonna live on probably quite literally 1 HP. As in the mid lane, both mid laners taking over to level 3. Goodness gracious, these teams are just going at it. Kaze trying to deny the cannon. He will not be able to, but a good amount of poke. As goodness gracious, like we're not getting a break from the action. Even still, like trying to land these hooks, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, this is like a knife's edge right now. Every single lane wants to fight, wants to scrap. I think maybe Kaminokaze. Oh gosh, as they're fighting over in the top lane. Okay, I was gonna say both of these lanes, or all 3 of these lanes, want to fight, including the junglers. So you know, we are going to, you know, see. Oh.
Yep, Exhaust comes down, Artifact to trying to find the kill. Regardless, the flash away. I believe he flashed the Q. Absolutely beautiful play is now in the bot lane. We see the smite steal away of the Blue Buster. Flash charm is there, trying to deny the flag and drag, but ultimately will just be able to walk away. Get it anyway. Goodness gracious, is now. Do we even see more fighting? Goodness gracious, what is this Hex Flash trying to get the army? The pulverize on the ground. That put away, trying to kill the Wukong, but he just can't do it. The Lantern means I will survive. How do they keep living? What is going on?
Oh, he gets it! He gets it with the Jin W. Takes him down. Just completely starts there. Your joy is exactly how I feel. I've been away from the IBSG scene for too long. This is complete and utter chaos. I'm here for it. Yeah, the Hex Flash over instead of just taking like the free Wukong there. That stuff kind of happens. You get excited, you want to make the play, you think that you have it, and Wilm was in extremely good positioning there. Had that Alistar been able to Hex Flash a little bit quicker and actually get the combo down, but you take what you can get, and Wilm on the back end of that play was very, very sharp, able to actually get the kill. So in the long run, you do end up getting something for your bot lane. Mikey's doing a lot better here, able to provide a little bit of agency for his jungler and some safety net. And yeah, this is officially the series of the oh my god, I almost got him, but then everything went wrong after. We had it out in first game where Gremory was just getting away with everything, and now here in the second game, Fish is the one.
Coming out will stop Little Gup in his tracks, but will able to find the fourth shot down onto Pot of Greed. In the top lane as well, lots of brawling coming down. Of course, we would expect nothing less from a Yasuo-Yone matchup. But again, yeah, this bot lane has definitely been the center of attention, at least thus far. We see down from Mikey. Both bot laners of Kingdom of Kittens are going to respect for now. What is this Hex Flash tag?
Yeah,
we saw it there before in the jungle. I just personally not my favorite because it's so telling. Everyone knows exactly what's going to happen. That's not how you want to use the summoner spell.
No, it's not, but he's trying, right? And he's trying to get in the heads, and he's trying to do what he can in this one. So anything that I guess that you can do, that you can just try to get in the head of the opponent here, as both teams are going to elect to back here at the exact same time. I'm usually more of a fan of the team that's able to at least shove back and kind of get back to the lane a little bit after, but force them to lose a little bit of CS. It does look like both of these teams are, or at least both of these bot lanes are going to be able to, just kind of reset, come back at the exact same time, and continue scrapping here, because that's exactly what I expect. Is we are going to see a roam from the Diana again, but LaBouffe dashes over to one of his minions and kind of shuts down the play.
Artifact able to maybe sniff out the roam. I'm not quite sure if there's a Phalite. A little bit hard to see on the mini-map is now. Going back into lane is Mikey, but we'll just be able to walk on out of there, as probably going to see an engage. Maybe just a little bit more poke, as yeah, a little bit more respect given from both teams. I think Gremory have maybe begun to realize that they are not just a guaranteed win in this one, as LaBouffe going in, using the ultimate, but Artifact is here to fight back, using the Soul Unbound, trying to get as much damage as he can before he recalls, able to get the knock-up, the Ignite as well. It's ticking down, the flash away means absolutely nothing, as now we can see in the bot lane jungle, fighting coming down, the flash forward from the Alistar, trying to get the Pulverize, able to get a 4-man knock-up, but no follow-up is there. The jungler is already dead. Goop is the next to fall. Pulverize was so good. The flash forward, just putting salt in the wounds. A triple kill for Little Gup, and Kingdom of Kittens find their footing.
Yeah, they're officially on the board now too, right? That puts them into 5-2. That's a 1K gold lead for the Kai'Sa over this Jhin, and I kind of feel like there was an avenue there for Mikey to get in there and use that 3.5, I guess, with the clone, knock up that we had from the Alistar, to just go in, Diana ult, and get every single one of them. But maybe a little bit of PTSD from earlier on in game one here, is Kamino Kaze is turning this thing around, does get the ignite, and now Theracles able to take that nice easy flash kill on the back end of that.
Yeah, uses the flash during the invisibility period of his W, so doesn't give over the information that he is on the chase, as the top lane Bork not quite completed for Artifact just yet, but is going to trade on the booth regardless, as there is the Fate Unsealed, able to pick up the kill without even having to snap back there. You can see the amount of lane dominance that this Yone does have. Personally, I'm a Yone top lover, and you can see the strength of it right there. Yasuo, definitely not the most strong top lane champ, definitely a little bit better in the mid lane. Of course, the AD carry position somehow. But yeah, Artifact able to pick up another one.
Yeah,
sorry.
Never mind. Here it comes. Nope. This is my fault for thinking that Jarvan was gonna give himself a way out of here. That's another. I guess we'll just talk. Yeah, just a little bit of I don't know. It kind of feels like Gremory just have an idea or a sense of the game and the game state, right? And even from game one, they were making plays together. Never really I wouldn't even say that they were not telegraphing because like all of the plays that they made a lot of sense, right? It seems like they have an idea of when and where they should be, and Fish just kind of doesn't right now, right? And like that's even with the early leads and such, it's just not going Fish's way, mainly because of that. Is now we're gonna get this into the.
Yep. Seeing a little bit of a mid lane engage here is going to be the Thresh living for now. The Charm is going to come down to heal from the Ahri passive, means he will survive for that much longer. As we pan to the bot lane, somehow the flash forward from the Kai'Sa means he will be able to pick up that kill. It's going to be Goob, rather. Going to be the next to potentially fall. Spot agreed, able to put a kill steal on that one. But, you know, the gold lead in the mid lane going to dwindle here for Mikey. Doing pretty well in this lane, all things considered. Melee into ranged is not the easiest time, especially in that short lane where you can't really run him down. Was doing a good job, but now 1 and 2, only 63 CS on the Diana. Gonna have that much harder of a time as the Artifacts looking for something here. Maybe just a little bit of a chunk down onto the booth. You can see the power of the autos. That was just one trade. As now a little gup. The Curtains are calling the bot lane. Yep, 2 quick shots are fired, which means that he will fall in the end. And hopefully I'll have a chance to be able to stop talking, but no! Fatal 2 will hit onto 2 in the top lane. Cataclysm is there to stop him from moving. Well, will ultimately pick up the kill. The exhaust is down, so might have a chance in this one, but no. Artifact on only components, able to pick up a double kill, and now more fighting coming out. Ultimately, they charm down onto Mikey, falling pretty low here, but does have a good amount of healing from those potions. Now in the bot lane, the Pulverize is going to come out the ultimate as well, as it is going to be the Wukong trying to dash down onto the Jhin, but won't be able to find too much more as the Alistar ultimate times out, and hopefully now the dust will settle.
Yeah, I don't think for very long, so I'll try to be quick with this. Mike just completely, like you said, he is playing this lane extremely well considering, but like Fish is just not learning their lessons with this hectic gameplay that just isn't really working, and Artifact doing the right thing, completely taking over this lane here now, as like every chunk that he gets is just going to be like more and more deadly, and the further and further that Labu falls behind this Yone is just going to be even harder. I think at this point it's going to be a 3-person requirement to take Artifact out.
I would say at least as now we get the flash pulverize. The knockback doesn't quite land onto the turret. Didn't have the angle. Yep, that's all he really wanted there, was to get him in towards the turret, but wasn't able to find even that. And yeah, we talk about Artifact getting the chunk down onto LaBouffe. I think he would have been able to find a lot more, but you can see the goal that he has yet to spend. Able to pick up the Bork as well as his Berserker's Greaves. So extremely happy. This is Yone's most powerful power spike in the entire game. Is now Kamino Kaze might be in a little trouble here, but his jungler is here to back him up with the Cyclone. Will fall in the end. Mikey able to pick up that kill. As is 1 for 1 in the mid lane. 2 ultimates on the side of Gremory. As yeah, a little bit of the strength of the Yasuo is that he's able to just dash back towards his turret. Is now in the bot side jungle. It's going to be the Wukong who's going to be engaged upon here, but the oh my goodness, beautiful buffer with the Cataclysm down on to 3. Wasn't able to find it too much more, as Alistar is the next target on the chopping block, as a Thresh hook does hits, but not too much else is found, as the curtains are going to be called yet again. 1 shot is going to find the kill, but will the 4th shot will as well. Nope. Is not going to be sealed there. Doesn't have that ability, but the flash forward, the 4th shot as well as the Q, means that he will be able to find 2, but not quite 3. Flash away from the Wukong means that it's only going to be a double kill. Now in the top lane, even more action. The Fate Unsealed, flashing forward. He really wants this kill. I'm not quite sure why. This is an 0-5 Yasuo. I'm not quite sure why you're flashing for that. We just wanted to get the execute, but I guess he just really wanted the kill. I mean, 6-0-1 on the Yone. What more can you ask out of a top laner? Artifact absolutely running over this game. As Green trying to engage onto the dynamic, maybe just trying to chase him away a little bit. But goodness gracious, 17-6 is the kill score for now, as I want to give you a time to talk before any more action happens.
Well, good luck with that. I mean, I agree with you. I think that was maybe a little bit overzealous, probably unneeded. However, you do stop LaBouffe from being able to proxy, right? And, you know, as Mike actually gets in here and almost gets, does get the kill in a nice flash.
Able to flash out of there, but the Wukong is able to pick it up in the end, but caught in the middle of 2 people, about to be 3, trying to turn their sights elsewhere, as maybe a river fight is on the cards, but It's
If you
going to
look
be
at the
advantage towards Fish as Yone is not
Yeah.
quite here.
No, but if I was just about to say, if you look at the mini map right now, Yone has a nice little flank angle. Also, he's completely stealing all of the resources away from Fish. Dark Knight is going to go into his red side jungle and just be completely sad faced right there because everything is kind of going. And this is what we were talking about before game one, when you have a top laner that can just completely get out of. Okay, this is odd here.
Yeah.
Take it over. Here comes the play.
Even more mid lane fighting here. The Jarvan going in. I'm not quite sure what his thought was as the flash hook is there. Maybe a little bit overkill here as the Yasuo trying to engage onto the Wukong, trying to find his angle. The Pulverize was pretty good to set him up, but the exhaust is coming down onto maybe the wrong target. The heal is perfectly timed though, so the top laner will survive for now. The curtains be called for now, but the first 2 shots are going to miss, and that one is way off of its target. Does hit the 4th, but execute not quite there. Only the Hex Optic is picked up. Deadly Flourish will hit in the end, but won't do enough damage to pick up the kill.
No, unfortunately, Jin Charles made his appearance there, and you missed those first 3, get in your head. And this play is not over because Kaminokaze and Theracles are here right now, and if that hook lands, that's guaranteed. But Oob, able to get it. Willem, who is kind of the bright spot of this Fish squad right now, right? You look at him, he's 5-2-0. It's not the tankiest team for Gremory, and this could be kind of like there's little win con. On the same token, Mike has done a pretty good job of at least having the kill pressure, being 3-4-1 on this Diana, so they are still at least a little bit in this game, and Willem can definitely take over this game if given the opportunity too late, and I spoke about that during the draft. As you know, LeBouf and Willem are two of the linchpins here for Team Fish to be able to actually win this game, but they got to do it.
Yeah, Pot Agree trying to take any hook that he can, but might not be the smartest decision here, as will be the Locket, I believe, to come out as the Diana finds a beautiful engage here, but the artifact is here, absolutely tearing through the black backline, but the Jarvan's going to tear through a backline of his own, using the Cataclysm. The Wukong does not have the dash to meet him, as artifact is too low to continue the fight. Not quite sure how he got chunked out too bad without being able to find any other kills. Somehow, Fish are able to fight back here. 5k gold lead doesn't mean nothing when you can find engages like that. Mikey looking dominant on this Diana.
Yeah, he is, and he's finding all the right angles, and he's taking. He's able to actually go in and get the get the flanks, get the ults, and get everything. But also the most important thing, get out. Most of these engages now, he's the one that's initiating them instead of like in last game where KOK were the ones doing it. And now we have just another example of them going in and trying to get this, but
yep.
I think they missed it.
Yep, not quite sure if it's the smartest decision to go right about now, but it seems to be working out for now as Artifact is doing so much damage to the booth. But the Flash Charm is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the effects of the gold lead now. 5 for the cost of none, as Kingdom of Kittens Gremory are on a tear in this best of 3.
Yeah, they are, and they do end up getting the Rift Herald, which is what they came for, but you can't lose 5 for nothing on the back end of that, and that's extremely unfortunate for Fish. They finally clawed their way back. They got a little bit of momentum, which is absolutely huge, but then they kind of give it away with a bad fight. Afterwards, I think that maybe just trying to get like a 50-50 or something there and just telling everybody else, hey, back off, especially once Willem was done with the curtain call, just back away. You don't need to be sitting there and trying to fight. Artifact is super strong right now. He has the Infinity Edge completed, and he's going to be able to tear through this Jhin if he's able to get on top of him. And kudos to Fish. They've been able to do a good job of disengaging it and just covering up the Jhin when Artifact jumps on him. But the stronger this Yone gets, the harder it's going to be.
Yone is an extremely powerful snowballing champion. You mentioned the Infinity Edge, another one of his extremely powerful power spikes. So
it's like every level is a power spike for that dude.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see the 4-level lead in the top lane. They're just giving Artifacts even more gold. They can't really contest him unless they send many, as hooks from Pot of Greed have been looking crispy this game. Deadly Flourish not going to quite find the roots, as no mark was applied, as it's going to be a free dragon over to Kingdom of Kittens if they elect to take it. It seems as though for now they want to maybe look for a little bit of an debate, look for a little bit of play. Baron hasn't spawned up just yet, so they're not going to be able to find that objective if they do end up winning a fight. Maybe they want to look for an artifact flank here, but maybe they just want to look for a red buff contest as Dark Knight is just going to get absolutely chunked. Goodness gracious, you can see the effects of having a 2-item Yone in your jungle when you are a measly 1.5-item Jarvan, who is 5 levels down on the Kingdom of Kittens top laner.
Yeah, that's just rough. And I actually really like this call from Fish. What they did was they pushed out the side lanes. They made Fish respond, and then, or what I like this play from KOK, like they made Fish respond, and then they take the free dragon, right? We always talk about this in League, where you want to take the 52, and up percentage plays every single time, the ones that are guaranteed to hit and make, use of whatever, and you don't want to give the opportunity for it to fail. So they actually did to me, an extremely smart play there, but Little Gup a little too far ahead right now.
Yeah, Goob able to find a Hex Flash.
Does get away.
Yeah, it's not too much more. Doesn't have the actual flash, so wasn't able to follow up with too many more tools. Didn't have them in his toolkit, as Dragon was eventually taken by Kingdom of Kittens, as Baron is about to spawn up as well. So hopefully we're going to see a take from them to be able to close out this game pretty swiftly, as it just spawns just now, as there is the hook coming out onto the Jhin. It seems as though Dark Knight wants to engage here, but not too much else is going to come of it, as now the bush camp is pretty good here. The Cyclone is going to come down, and you can see the issues that this Diana is going to have with the turret burning down so much. Camino Kaze forced a flash to pick up the kill, but he's running the 3 members of Fish in the flash pulverize. A little bit too good there, not able to find too much, as Camino will be taken down by the 4th shot, but Little Gup is caught in the middle of the Cataclysm. The 4th shot from the Curtain Call will pick him up in the end. Pot of Greed being chased down from the Jarvan here, as it's going to be Artifact to try to make a good thing happen coming out of this play, as it will be Dark Knight to fall in the end. 3 for 2 is going to be the results in favor of Fish somehow, but again, this is a Yone that's not going to slow down anytime soon. Probably going to take the Wolves as well, absolutely shutting down anything Fish tried to do, but a huge overextension from Kingdom of Kittens.
Yeah, but they do get yes, but they do get the dragon, or not the dragon, they do get the tier 2 turret, and they get a kill on the backside of it. So it's a 2 for 1 and a tier 2, and you get another kill into Pot of Greed, who somehow is a 419 Thresh right now. Things just seem to keep going his way. And I love the play from him. This is a really strong showing from this support. I know that Artifact is kind of like the strongest player here, obviously, right now, and he's been kind of the focal point of this series, but enough can't be said about Pot of Greed, the Janna game, and now this Thresh game, to where he has just such a strong KDA. Now we were looking in the break about the KDA breakdowns, and we're seeing why now, as Will caught out.
Yep, the flash away. Yeah, from Lil Gup means that he won't be burning down to the turret. The turret has been enemy number 1 for Kingdom of Kittens in this game. Seems like they've died to it a bit too many times. Yeah. Be looking their way towards the Baron for now. Chase is underway for Fib with Fish, but without their AD carry. Not quite sure how much they're going to be able to find. It seems as though they want to fight this. We'll have to see, but I don't think it'll be the smartest decision, all things considered.
No, and I kind of wish that Fish had just kind of pulled off that play a little bit, and kept somebody down with this Rift Herald, right? It just died under the tier 1 turret with a 1 plate left. Just keep somebody down there. You're losing everywhere else. Get the wave clear going as much as you can. You have to find a way to get LaBouffe back into this game, and the easiest way of that is to just farm, cancer push, do whatever you have to do to isolate him away from Artifact, especially when Artifact is joining these plays and taking over the game. You have to do something. You have to buy time. He's got 184 CS, which compared to Artifact, we're going to say, we'll leave that part out, is a decent amount of CS at this point, especially how far behind he is. So you got to find a way. If he would have just stayed with that Rift Herald on the bot side, they could have gotten a turret, could have rammed it into the second one for more plates, and you were losing the Baron anyways. Get something for your troubles.
Yep, flash forward from Pot of Greed. Maybe a little bit greedy there, as he's going to take 2 turret shots for his sins. But in the end, it's going to be a pretty good engage for Mikey. But again, just doesn't matter. The gold lead, 2 insurmountable here. 10.8k in the end. But Pot of Greed is pretty low here. We'll have to see if LaBouffe is able to find anything out of this knockup. Not too much is left, as we see bot wave being pushed in as well. Artifact able to chip down on that turret. as this might be the last sequence of the game, ladies and gentlemen. If Kingdom of Kittens are able to close it out here, this would mean a 2-0 victory in favor of them, but we'll have to see if they're able to find it. There's now 2 members on this mid wave trying to take down the tier 3 turret, the inhibitor turret, as Artifact going extremely far forward. Not able to find all too much, as now all 5 members of Fish have respawned by now, but can they contest the inhibitor? Nope, they're just going to give it away for free. Smart decision probably. If they gave up any of their members, you know, Kittens Gremory would have probably had the chance to end. Now going for the triple inhibitor on the top lane. This is such a powerful thing to have. This spawns 2 super minions per wave. It's going to be extremely hard to come back for this. Is now Artifact going and using the Fate Unsealed only onto 1, but a pretty good choice as he stops his support from dying, but ultimately will die in the end. Not before he gets off the cage, though. Little Gub on the backline is going to be taken down by the force shot from the curtain call, as Artifact is a little bit 1v9 here, going in versus 3, maybe 4 members of Fish, as Kamino Kaze.
Ooh, there it is.
Beautiful ultimate play, beautiful charm in the end. Triple kill for the Ahri, as now Kingdom of Kittens look to take down the Nexus turrets as well as the Nexus itself to get them a 2-0 victory in this best of 3.
Yeah, and this is a foregone conclusion here. I mean, obviously, there's nothing Goob's going to be able to do, and I don't think that Mikey is even going to spawn in time to get this up. They just fell too far behind too quickly, and even though this game started out better for them, Fish just making the same kind of mental mistakes that they did in Game 1 and just got put way too far out. You know, get a couple of KDA kills at the back end to make yourself feel better is... you know, Willem doing what he does best, and you know, you had a Jhin, you had a win con, one of your win cons, 9-5, you know, if we're not going to count that last one, like 9-5 in this game. You had an opportunity to have everything in front of him, but they just, you know, unfortunately fell behind in too many other places. Artifact completely dominating this top lane from Game 1 all the way through Game 2, and making it very easy for the rest of his team to just kind of focus everywhere else. And, you know, sometimes this stuff just happens to you. So, you know, you still have one more week to put some plays on tape and get your name out there and everything. But unfortunately for Fish today, or Feyno, they just couldn't get it all together and put it down and, you know, get over the mental booms that they had. They just, unfortunately, fell to a team that was just much more on their game today.
Yeah, I mean, we can see it. The story is told from the gold lead at the end as well. 13.6k, so a little bit less than the 15k that we saw last time, but still complete and utter domination, even after the pretty good early game here from Fish. Of course, it was a bloodbath. We had a total of 42 kills, I believe. I know, is that 52?
52, yeah.
52 kills. I can't do math. 52 kills in a 25-minute game.
Kill every 30 seconds.
Absolutely
Hell yeah.
insane.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's just kind of like the tempo that these teams played the entire time, right? Like Gremory just kept pushing. The Fish just kind of wanted to keep, you know, scrapping even when coming from behind and playing from behind. Like they just kept wanting to scrap. Each team wanted to do it. Gremory just did it better, and this is just kind of like the tale. Looking at the standings, I actually think that like there is sort of a way for Gremory, if they 2-0 next week as well, they might actually be able to get themselves into a 3-way tie for the playoff hunt. So, you know, we'll have to see how the rest of the Ember Blaze season shakes out. But, you know, big shout out to both of these guys, and thank you for having me today. I appreciated it. And thank you, Madge, for stepping up in Game 1, and obviously Last Revan with the awesome production here. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you to everyone who helped out with the stream. Thank you to Rav. Thank you to my amazing co-caster Fel. 2 pretty dominant games, but pretty exciting ones as well. Yeah, you can see the gold graphs on your screen. Probably just let those play out just so you can see the extent of the domination of Kingdom of Kittens. Amazing games by mostly one team, but of course Fish did fight back a little bit in the end. But of course, Kingdom of Kittens did come out on top. So that's it for us today, week 8, Ember Blaze League. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure to tune in, I believe, tomorrow for our next game. We'll see you then.
Blinding light lost in your eyes, feeling the pressure. You and I